Scrolling Along with Susan. Today this project will not be a scroll saw project, but a router project. So I have this Miles Craft inlay kit. This Miles Craft inlay kit comes with its own templates, which is great. They explain exactly how to use them for these designs, but I want to make my own template. I want a mushroom, so I'm going to be designing the mushroom on 1/4-inch plywood, cutting it out on my scroll saw, and then applying it to my wood to cut it out. So you're going to need plywood. You're going to need double-sided tape. This is a CNC double-sided tape that I got from Amazon that I like a lot, or any big box stores will carry double-sided tape. I use a lot of that. Now, when you're designing your own template, keep in mind the final design is going to be about 1/4 inch all the way around smaller. So make sure your template is large enough so that your final piece is going to be the size that you want. I'm going to be using a solid piece that I'm going to be routing out, and then I will be taking an inlay of 1/4 inch in order to inset. I have a piece of paper that will fit nicely on my cutting board, and I'm going to decide which mushroom to use. And so I'm going to draw it, first of all, the size that I want the final piece to be. Well, I changed the look of things. This looks a little bit more like a mushroom now. The stem part is going to be pretty darn close to the bottom here, but I want to cut them out separately and have a little bit of a gap. Now I'm going to place it on the wood I'm going to be using, glue it to that, and cut out the template. Here's a template I made before, and you don't want the template too small. You want to have room to hold on to it and to do this double-sided tape on the other side. Clear contact paper, and then I'm going to be using spray glue once I get these two separated, and put them right here. I have drilled my pilot holes. Now I'm at my scroll saw. I believe I have a number 5R blade in from Pegasus, and I'm cutting out my 2 template pieces. Make sure your template is exactly how you want it. Once you're happy with it, because every little bump that's on here will transfer when you are routing it out. I think I'm going to start at about 4 inches from the top and 4 inches from the bottom. It's about 6.5 inches across. Now I have this tool that comes with the kit along with a pencil. I'm going to hold it firm, and it will draw around the actual shape and the size that it's going to be. Really just have to kind of work with it, decide where you want it. Yeah, I like that better. I have to admit, this is one of my favorite parts of cutting with wood, is auditioning all these pieces and finding that exact piece that I want for this design. I want 1/4 inch thick, which is a lot more than most people use for inlays, and they normally use like 1/8 inch. But I'm going to be cutting. I'm going to be using this as a cutting board, and I don't want to cut on it and have the 1/8 inch board piece underneath crack. This will have, with this hardwood, this will have a lot more strength to it. And I love this cherry. I love this black walnut. I'm just going to find out which one I like the best. When you're putting double-sided tape on, don't put it in long strips. It's better to have them in separate little strips. If one gives way, then you have the other one. And don't be stingy, because you need to have great support. And pressing it down. It is best to use a plunge router for this. If you purchase this Miles Craft kit, it's very clear, and it tells you exactly how to set up your machine for these inlays. So I have their bottom piece attached. I have their turn lock bushing, and there's going to be 2 that I'll be using. This one, we just removed it. I mean, it's in there tight on purpose because you don't want it to move. This one is 17 millimeter, and when I cut the outside of it, I'm going to be using the 11 millimeter. So what I have this set for, I have an 1/8 inch drill bit in, but it's just under. So the piece, when I cut this out, it's just going to be a little bit higher than my base piece so that I can sand it down, because you don't want it to be too low, then you've got a problem. I have clamps on the piece I'm going to be cutting out. Make sure the clamps are completely out of the way so that when you are cutting it out, and this has happened to me before, it doesn't hit the clamps and then I have to readjust. Definitely take your time with this. I am setting it up, pushing down the plunge router, locking it, going in the proper direction with my router, and going all the way around the outside first. So I started cutting some of this out with my 1/8 of an inch bit, but I think I'm going to change bits because this is a lot of material to cut out. And I don't want to, here, let me get it a little closer, see if you can see it a little bit better. I don't want to waste my 1/8 of an inch bit on clearing all of this out. This does require changing blades a lot and changing pieces often. And the ways to get around that so that you're not changing so often is make 2 templates exactly the same. So you have one piece for your insert and one piece that you're going to be cutting out, and you can switch and cut them both. This is about my 3rd attempt to try to check and see if it's the same exact depth. I have the larger bit in place, and now I'm just clearing out the inside of the mushrooms. Make sure you don't get too close to the edges or you're going to ruin the shape of the mushroom. So this is just to clear out the extra on the inside. The outside rim is just a little bit raised from my first cutting. Then when I hollowed it out, it's a little bit deeper, but I think it'll be okay. I'll just use more glue underneath, and there's plenty of a ridge for the glue to keep that insert tight. I've switched back to the 1/8 inch drill bit. I put my 17 millimeter in to cut the outside, and I want it to be just a little deeper than this. So you're going to have a piece of wood underneath that you don't care about because it's going to cut into that. And now I need to use my double-sided tape and stick it right on there. I am using a lot more double-sided tape on this, mainly because if you don't use a scrap piece to practice cutting it out, I happen to have 2 pieces, so if I mess up the one, I'm going to go right next to it. So I'm going to put plenty of double-sided tape. You want to make sure it's underneath the piece you're cutting out so it doesn't loosen up at the very end. This is the most challenging part, be plunging the bit in without twisting it or moving it. All right, now let's see how it's going to fit. Wow, I cannot push it all the way in because once it's in, it's not going to be coming out. I think it's going to fit really nicely. But I am going to sand the bottom just a little bit so that it slides in a little smoother, just the bottom part. I have switched back to this 17 millimeter and again routing out the hole for the inserts, and then switching back to the 11 millimeter and cutting this out. Now this one I had to redo because I made a mistake. Nope, gotta do this one again. Much better. I'm just using a little bit of mineral spirits to get rid of any of the sawdust that's inside on both pieces before gluing it together. I am using Type Bond 3 on this because it is a cutting board and it's probably going to be washed. So I want to make sure it's not going to come apart. The glue has been dried and now I'm giving it a nice good sanding. You can probably see there are small gaps right here and here on the mushroom head and one here on the stem. So I have some sawdust from underneath my scroll saw from cutting it out that I'll be mixing using Type Bond 3 glue and some of the sawdust. Just doing some last minute hand sanding. I'm going to wipe it all with mineral spirits to get rid of all the sawdust and any glue residue that might be left before I seal it. A lot of people will finish cutting boards with mineral oil and beeswax, and that's fine, but I wanted to use a tung oil mixture with mineral spirits so it can truly soak into any spots that I might have missed and give it a nice hard coating. Here's my final design. I actually put 2 coats of tung oil on it and then I sealed it with a mineral oil beeswax combination. And it's very sturdy. I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. And I hope you give something like this a try. It really puts a personal touch to items that you make. So hey, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.